Hey everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie. Today we're doing the second part of my December book haul. I wasn't actually going to film this until early next year. That sounds so weird to say. But plans changed and I decided that I would get this up a little bit earlier instead and then do the videos I was going to do in the next few days, in the next year anyway. So we've got a few here. We've got 14. I mentioned in the first part of this haul that this is my sort of fiction haul. So I have children's YA and adult. We're going to start with YA because that is by far the smallest pile and I only have 2 of them. So I have Imprison the Sky by A.C. Gagawan. This is the sequel to Reign the Earth, which I read when it came out in 2017, I think. And I really enjoyed it, and I've just kind of not had the time to read this one yet. So I bought it finally. I'm going to reread the first one, hopefully in the coming days, maybe even by the time this video is up, and then read this one. And then the other YA that I got is The Magnolia Sword, A Ballad of Milan by Sherry Thomas. This one just sounded cool and I was kind of in the mood for something a little bit historical but different from what I usually read. So I'm not sure if this has any fantastical elements to it or whether it is just the story of Milan, but we'll find out. I'm really excited for this one, so again I think this is one that I want to start in the coming days. So yeah, that's my YA section. Let's move on to adult next because the children's ones are the ones I'm most excited about. So here we go. The adult section is a little bit bigger. Firstly we have Apple and Knife by Itan Paramithia, maybe? This is my friend Sophie's book and she said that I might enjoy it because I liked Pink Mountain on Locust Island, this is also published by Brow Books. This I believe is kind of like fairy tales and ghost stories that are a little bit strange, so interested in seeing how I feel about that one. The rest of these, there isn't really like anything tying any of these together, to be honest. I have Love in a Fallen City by Eileen Chang. I bought this one as part of my Literary Witches project, which I'll be talking about more in the next year. But yes, I ordered this one back in October and it just took a little while for it to come into the bookstore that I ordered it from. But it is here now, and again, hopefully one I can get to in January. But I also know that I'm away for most of January, so I've got to be realistic and I probably won't get to a lot of these. This might be one that ends up being a February read, I think. I got myself a copy of The Red Tent by Anita Diamant. Not sure about that one. Yeah, this was like $2 at my local op shop, and yes, I've heard good things about this one and I thought I would give it a go for $2. Why not? Then I have some fantasy. I have these 2. So I have The Light Fantastic and Equal Rights, both by Terry Pratchett. I am slowly collecting the Discworld series and reading through them. I'm following a list on Goodreads that suggests the reading order, so It's just reading this one second and this one third, and I've already read The Colour of Magic, which is the first one. So I am super excited to get into these ones. Again, probably going to end up being a February read. And finally, for the adult fiction, I have A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. I heard about this book probably like 7 or 8 years ago now, and I have been on the lookout for it ever since. I found a copy while I was living in the UK, and then I ended up giving that to my aunt who I was staying with because it was a big heavy hardback and I didn't want to bring it home, but I didn't have time to read it. So I found this gorgeous edition as part of the Book Depository Black Friday sale, and I snatched it up. And again, super excited. Again, probably going to at least be a February read. So that's the adult fiction. Now onto the children's books. Let's go with these. I think, so I really like middle grade fantasy, but I've also in this one got a contemporary and a kind of like historical read. Anyway, contemporary is, oh, you can't really see it, but that says The Year We Fell from Space by Amy Sarah King, who is A.S. King. This is her first middle grade novel, as far as I know. And I've just heard really good things about this one. It's about a girl whose parents have been or are getting a divorce, and she creates these maps of constellations. So that's all I really know, but it sounds beautiful. The kind of historical one I have is Ada Lovelace Cracks the Code, which is by the people who wrote the Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls books. This is one of the first ones in that in a new series that they're creating, which is just like on like one woman per book. So this is like a little like junior fiction, I guess we would call this, and it's got like some beautiful illustrations in there and whatnot. Super excited about that because I absolutely love Ada Lovelace. And then moving on, we have the middle grade fantasy section for here. So first I have Invisible in a Bright Light by Sally Gardner. I've read a few of Sally Gardner's books now. She wrote the, I'm trying to think what they're called. I think it's called the Red Necklace series, which is a YA historical set in the French Revolution. And yeah, this one just sounds really cute. It's set in 1870. It sounds kind of like, as you can see by the cover, it has a little bit to do with the ocean, I think. There's a message, there's a part of the back that talks about a ship where a lot of people died, and I'm assuming it's this one here, but it just sounds really interesting. So looking forward to that one. I got myself a copy of The School for Good and Evil by Suman Chainani. I have wanted to read this one for years and then just have never picked it up, so I finally did it, and we're gonna see how I go. I got myself a copy of Otley Coulter and the Master of Monsters, which is book 2 in the Narrowway trilogy by Rhiannon Williams. I just read book 1 and absolutely loved it. So again, hoping to start book 2 very shortly before I forget everything and have to reread the first book in like a year's time. So hopefully that one. And finally, the last book that I got as part of this haul and also part of my Black Friday sale is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I've wanted this one since it came out, and it was like, I think it came down to like a ridiculously cheap price for a book, for Australia anyway. So I grabbed it up and I'm super excited. I have been reading a lot of Victoria Schwab in the last few days, I guess, week. So this is probably one that I'm gonna hold off on for a little bit, but I am super excited about it. Maybe I'll read it about end of Feb, start of March. We'll see how we go with all of the other books that I own. But yeah, there we are. That is my not so little haul for December. I'm really excited about all of these. And yes, I will keep you all updated on what I read as per usual, and I will see you all in a few days' time. I think probably by the time this video goes up, it's probably time for another weekend reads. So I will hopefully see you then. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.